I had a grandmother, we called her Mammy, and she would tell us this story. And the story's about a man that made his living by going around in the circuses with dogs. And they would put on a show at the circuses. And he had some dogs that could do walk on their back legs. Then he had another dog that could climb a ladder. But then the star of the show was one dog, and he could do them all. He could do all the tricks. And the crowd would just love it and clap, and they just loved the star of the show. Well, the circus was done, and the circus was getting ready to move on, and the little dog got sick. And he got so sick that he had what they called the stepper, and other dogs can get it. So the man that owned the dogs, he decided to leave him behind. So he put him in a little shed, and they all packed up and left, and they left the little dog behind.
It's awful. I know, it's sad.
There was a little boy, he lived in that town, and he thought it'd be neat to go down to where the circus was and see if he could find any little toys that had fallen on the ground or any coins that might have fallen on the ground. So he's down and he's walking around looking to see what he can find. And then all of a sudden, he hears, and he listens, and he goes and he opens up this door of the shed, and there's this little dog that's really sick. So the little boy went out and he looked all around, and there was nobody. There was nobody around. So he picked up the dog and he took it home. And when he got home, his mama says, "Oh, you shouldn't have brought him home. He is awful sick." Little Billy says, "Mama, we can make him better." So right by their stove in their kitchen, they made a little box where it was warm, and they put him and they nursed him and they helped him, and over time he got better. And he loved that little boy. And everywhere that little boy would go, he would go. And everybody just loved the little boy and the little dog. Well, time goes fast, and about a year went by, and the circus came back to town. And the little boy didn't know what to do. He didn't want the man to get his dog back, because it was his dog now. So, for the first time ever, he tied the little dog up to a rope in his backyard, and off to the circus went the little boy. Well, the little dog just crawled and barked and tried his best, and he finally got the collar off. And down the road he went, towards following the little boy to the circus. So the boy's in the circus, and the circus man is putting on his show with the dogs. And he's right in the middle of his act, and in runs the little dog. And he's so used to being part of the show that he runs right out on the stage, and he gets right on the stage and he starts doing the show with the other dogs. And the man that owned the dogs, he held up his hands for the crowd to be quiet. And he said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I was in this town a year ago, and someone stole my most valuable dog I have." And the little boy got up and he hollered, "That's not true. You left him to die. He was sick, and I nursed him back to health." And the circus guy went, "Ho, ho, ho, folks, when I do something like that?" Well, it didn't sound like he would. So the crowd was really quiet. And the little boy says, "Well, I'll tell you what, mister, I'm going to get up and leave. And if that circus dog goes with me, he's mine. And if he stays with you, he's yours." So the crowd all was agreeing and saying, "Yeah, That sounds fair. So the little boy was just quiet in there. And the little boy got up and he walked down. He kept looking. The little dog would look at the boy and he'd look at the circus man. Look at boy, look at the circus man. The boy got on the edge of the tent and he left. And the dog didn't come. Then all of a sudden, the crowd just started clapping and cheering. And the boy tears started dropping down his eyes because he thought the dog had stayed with the man. Then all of a sudden he heard a bark and a yip. And here came that dog running as fast as he could run. And the little boy held out his arms and the dog jumped up in his arms. And he wanted to be with the little boy. And they lived happily ever after.
Isn't that a nice story?